The conversation I want to have today are about the 5 abilities that you're going to need to avoid injury and actually perform better in all areas of life. All right? If you are interested in learning what these 5 abilities are, put something in the comments, anything. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, say hello, put your name, where you're tapping in from, because I'm about to break this down for you. So it's funny, by show of hands, and be completely honest, how many of you guys have got this idea in your head and then said, yo, I'm gonna go work out? And it might be after a long period of not working out, or it could be just something that pops into your head today. Hey, I'm just gonna go work out. And you go in and you go, look, I'm finna beast on these weights. I'm gonna hit this. And you go in and you put in and you put in and you put in and oh, that last one didn't feel right. Oh, it's getting a little worse. And the next thing you know, you're sidelined for a good week or two with a lower back pain or shoulder twinge or something in your neck that just it's not properly, it's not working the way that it should be. Well, the reason that is because you have skipped steps and overlapped these abilities that create the foundation of basic human movement, but more specifically, your fitness routine in the gym. Okay, so are you ready? These are the 5 abilities that you need in order to avoid injury and to perform better in all areas of life. All right. The number 1, flexibility. As we start to get older, our flexibility starts to dwindle. That mixed with an intense workout plan that's building lean muscle, like those 2 things put together actually decrease your flexibility. So without having, listen, when you lift, and these muscles, they get tight, and that tension in there creates, it slows down the elasticity of the muscle. So you see what's going on here. The joint is not able to go through its full range of motion. So when the joints are not able to go through their full range of motion, the body defaults to the path of least resistance. Meaning, your body's gonna do goofy shit. Now, our bodies just do goofy shit anyway. That's how they're designed. But the last thing you want is your body to be doing goofy shit when you got 200 pounds, 300 pounds behind your neck trying to do a squat. Without proper flexibility, you're not even able to get down into a squat properly. And there's no way I would allow a client or even a friend, an acquaintance, somebody that I see in the gym, I would not even allow them to get under a squat rack until they understand that flexibility is essential, so that they're not putting unnecessary pressure on joints, on stabilizer muscles that are actually going to be thrown out when you put too much weight on it. So flexibility is number 1. Speaking of stabilizer muscles, number 2, the second ability you need is stability. Balance. It's so funny, a lot of, especially my younger clients, like they really hate when I take them through the flexibility and stability sections of the programming. It's like, we doing this shit again? Yes, we are. Because without stability, your ass is gonna fall over. You need to be stable. You need balance. Now, here's the key to stabilization that people don't realize. And for all you guys that want abs, this is perfect, because stability comes from core strength, more specifically core stability. The more dense you are in the midsection, the greater your center of gravity. So you're able to do shit like this and kick your legs up and go back and do all of that stuff because you're dense in the midsection. And being dense in the midsection draws your center of gravity. You're stable, Daniel-san. That's what you need in order to do some of these maneuvers. So when you see people doing, again, we'll go back to the squats. If you're not stable and you get under that squat rack and things are flowing one way or the other and you're not able to move, if you're trying to do a lunge and your lunge has got you going all this way, work on stability first. Work on being able to do multiple things at the same time. Seriously, stability is necessary. On top of flexibility and stability, you are now going to need mobility, your ability to move. Listen, without mobility, you are stuck in place. And this one's for even kind of the older people that, especially if you have like a sedentary job where you're not moving around a lot, like your body becomes stiff. And when you're not able to move, again, the wrong muscles start to activate. And the last thing you want is lack of mobility in your shoulders while trying to do an overhead press. You're putting unnecessary pressure on your traps, your thoracic spine, like you're gonna hurt yourself. This is why people get injured in the gym. And I'm telling you, I cannot in good conscience tell you to go do a thing in the gym knowing that you lack flexibility, stability, and mobility. Like that's just asinine. Like I couldn't do that. That's why we work on these things. That's why we work on basic stuff like push-ups, your ability to just stabilize like this, to hold yourself upright. Like you'd be surprised at how many people came and stand on their feet for long enough without things hurting because the alignment is off, their stability is off, they're leaning to one side, which is causing their hip to tighten up. Now my back hurts. All of these things, they're kinetic chain because you're not mobilizing, you're not moving properly. If you ever hear a personal trainer say functional movement and you go, that sounds boring. Functional movement is like trainers speak for like everyday shit, like sitting to stand, walking upstairs, opening and closing doors, dynamic movements, bigger movements that you do to open up the joints, right? Like your mobility is necessary. That's why I respect the people who do yoga. Like when you incorporate yoga into your routine, you're incorporating flexibility, stability, and mobility all into one. So all you guys who hate on yoga, stop it, go try it. I bet you start shaking and sweating all over the place and you're gaining new respect for it. If nothing else, just figure out how to move properly. Move your body, like explore it a little bit. Move it through some of these ranges of motion that you might not have done before. Like think about this. This is for anybody. Like when was the last time you were just like, yo, I'm gonna see if I can touch my damn toes. And you're like, what? Right? Play with that. That's 3. Flexibility, stability, mobility. I'm gonna give you another one. Now this is for my more advanced people. Agility. We talked about mobility being your ability to move. Agility is your ability to move quickly. So when you start to get into these more explosive movements like box jumps, when you want to get into the Olympic lifts, you start wanting to do clean and jerks and things like that. Kettlebell swings, even like your ability to move quickly needs to be enhanced. It needs to be focused on. Listen guys, we're talking about mastery here. Not actually mastering it, but the quest to mastery. Continuing to work on your stabilization. Continuing to hold a squat to making sure that those muscles, continuing to stand on one foot to make sure that your ankle musculature is stable. We rely on shoes so much, but go run on some sand and you'll see how unstable you are. If you're ever in the gym and you're able to stand on a Bosu and you stand on there and you notice your legs are going like this, you lack stability. You lack balance. And it's not a bad thing, it's where you need to work on. But agility is your ability to move quickly, right? And especially if you're my age and you start to get to that point where it's like, yo, I used to be able to jet. I used to be able to run fast. Now I can't do it. Yes, you can. You just can't do it right now. But you have to practice. You got to put in the work. And to be agile will allow you to move quickly. It will allow you to get more explosive in your movements. I'm telling you guys, without focusing on these abilities, you are going to hurt yourself. These are the foundational things that we just kind of throw out of the window. It's boring. I don't want to do it. But I promise you, that's why smart people hire people like me. Because we spend our time just nerding out over ways to help you improve your flexibility, your stability, your mobility, and your agility. Like, seriously, that's what helps you out in these things. And I think there was a 5th one. Accountability. Y'all hate that word. Every time I bring up accountability, someone unfriends me. And it's funny because it's like accountability is literally me or anybody making sure that you do what you say you're gonna do, that you follow through with your actions, and that you own your actions or lack thereof. So accountability in the gym. If I tell you go through these progressions before doing this as your coach, and you don't do that and you hurt yourself, who's to blame? You can't blame me. Even though it's my responsibility to make sure that you go through these things, it's also your responsibility to hold yourself accountable and say, okay, I didn't do these things, or I'm going to do these things, and then follow through and do them. So to wrap that up, and if somebody's been watching, put them in the comments so that somebody else can see it, so you don't have to watch me bounce around on camera for this entire time. But those are the 5 abilities that you need in order to avoid injury and to perform better in all areas of life. Because think about this. Like, how goofy is it for, and I've done this before, I did this the other day, and because I'm still a work in progress myself. While I'm in here, you'll see the videos of me taking, 135 pounds and then pressing that bitch over my head, and then twinge my shoulder, reaching in the back seat for something, okay? Because I still haven't worked out the mobility issues in my shoulder, which means that at the beginning of every workout, I have to do some of these opening up stretches and movements and things like that before I can even engage in working out. So you guys, take it seriously. Let me know in the comments how you feeling. Hit me up if you have any questions. Some things are evolving in the Double Up brand. You'll see it. I don't like to talk about it, but thank you guys so much. Let's get this money.